Talk Podcast. Tip and Talk Podcast. Starting soon. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got booted out for some odd reason, but thank you guys. So today we have a great show for you today. We are going to be discussing the whole situation with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, and also George Foreman as well. He has also been allegedly accused of sexual assault to two minors when he was in his 20s. So the focus points that I wanted to focus on this evening, according to Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, is one is that since we did this topic the last time, there has been new things that have arisen on the surface, and one being that the John Doe, which is the 14-year-old, he says allegedly he was given something to drink that made him sleepy, and then also it's alleged that there was a non-legally binding deal of $15,000 between the mom, Trezal Morris, and Aries Spears. I also kind of want to talk a little bit on the mom, because I kind of feel like mom's overlooked, and a lot of times in these situations, I feel like when these situations arise, we need to look at every party, everybody. I just feel like nobody gets. And also, I wanted to speak a little bit on Jason Lee and his whole role in this when it comes to Tiffany Haddish. So thank you guys. I welcome you to the platform and get into the discussion. Let's hear your point of views.
Well, it's crazy about George Foreman. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's crazy about George Foreman.
First.
Yeah, it's crazy about George Foreman and these kids. I swear it's like everything just coming out into the opening of the world, and like, how did they get these allegations about him? Did the kids speak up or something, or did the parents come forward?
So the search that I did, these are two ladies that they're adults now, but they are daughters of former friends or co-workers that he worked with and hasn't even spoke to in decades. And it really wasn't a whole lot to the story, but he did say that pretty much he was being it's like pretty much, and I'm kind of leaning more towards that way unless I see some more coming out, but so far in my reach I have not. And I don't know if you guys read up on it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, they ain't saying too much. I'm gonna read back up on it. It's just crazy.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, why is it seemed like everybody's coming out in their 20s and in their 30s and in their 40s. I just don't get You know, like, did they report it to the parents when they were young and the parents just didn't do nothing?
That's a good question. That raises a good question. It really does.
So
Like when we speak on the situation with the Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, if the daughter is making as much noise as she's making now, I kind of would have to go with, I find that she to believe that she didn't tell her mother then. Not only that, if you send your child somewhere and they're calling you and they're crying and wanting you to, you as a parent would want to talk to your child and find out why they were so upset. So
well, okay,
that's my opinion.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a couple of things, because
Yes.
I've been following these cases, even with the R. Kelly case and the Bill Cosby case. And so the first thing is in these cases, even with the Tiffany Haddish case, those kids were, they're saying 14 to 16. And the common denominator for all of these cases is 14 to 16. Right? So now these people are like 20s and 30s. And so as a kid, your parent has to sign. And so that's the part I'm not understanding. And so if we go back to, remember the Joe Parental case where he was a coach in Pennsylvania? So then they opened the doors and said, you know, there's no statute. So even the Attorney General, Kim Foxx, in the R. Kelly case said, if anyone's had a problem, come forward. Well, when you're talking about these high profile people, everybody's going to come forward. But my thing is, if you are a victim, I'm all for you. But if you're just coming just because you want 15 minutes of fame, and now these people are getting caught up in Me Too, time's up. And let's go a step further. We got to be honest. We're talking about Black celebrities, because T.I.'s in there. And then now you have it was Boosie was in, there's a couple other people, right? So why is this always, it seems like a pattern? And one thing, and it's on Twitter, even with the R. Kelly case, it came out that this has been alive for 30 years. Like, people were thinking like he's been sleeping with these kids, but come to find out these parents been extorting. I'm not saying it. That's what's in this paperwork that in the Chicago case. So even with these kids, now they're adult, I'm saying, wait a minute. Where is the cameraman being charged? Because wouldn't that be you're watching kid porn? Where is the cameraman? Where are all the people that we're not seeing? So even with Tiffany Haddish, let's just say, and this guy Aries Spears, we don't even know who he is unless he comes forward with something controversial. But if you're talking about kids, let's talk about Jay-Z when he was going with Lil Foxy Brown. Let's talk about P. Diddy when Justin, his first son's mother, she was 14 or 15. She was in that video with Biggie Smalls in the hot tub with the blonde hair. I'm just saying, like, why are these people picking certain celebrities to extort them? And I'm sorry if I'm like passionate about it, but what I'm saying is there's no 12 or 13-year-olds. There's no 16, 17 years old. Everybody is 14. Where are the parents?
It's confusing.
Yeah. So even when you sign a contract, because I do contracts, and I'm just saying, right? When you sign a contract, and especially these people say they sign NDAs, when you sign a contract, it's binding. I mean, it's binding. Before that was released, that video, that person, the parent, whomever signed, got a copy of it because it goes through edits. So what happened to the edits? You got an editor, you probably got a producer, you got a formatter. There's people there. You probably got someone who's dressing them for, like the outfits they were wearing. Somebody filled up that pool or tub. Like, where are these people? And that's the thing I'm not finding. You're suing these celebrities, and then to go a step further, and I'm not taking them. As soon as I say this, I'm gonna shut up. We're saying, okay, we're canceling people. So when you start canceling, first of all, you can't cancel a person that's been born, right? But when you start canceling a person, don't get upset if your child stopped learning Black history in the 2nd or 3rd grade and they only knowing about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, because you're canceling our history. You can't cancel. Stop canceling history and stop falling on a bandwagon based on hearsay. Get the documentation, because when this stuff goes to court, it's public knowledge. Get the paperwork. Stop listening to what people are saying, because it is affecting our history and our culture. And if this thing happened 6 or 7 years ago, my thing is, why now? You're coming out now, like, for what? What happened?
Well, they're only coming out now because they're 18. So with the R. Kelly thing, the parents didn't come searching for them kids until they were 18. Once they turned 18, that's when the check stopped. That's when they had to realize that was coming. But I mean, when it comes to the T.I. and Tiny, I'm gonna have to believe some of the people, because I've been down there and I've heard the stories. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, when it comes to their abuse, I have to. But when it comes to Bill Cosby, is because he was trying to buy a show. He was trying to buy a major show, a major network. So they have to do like that. When it comes to George Foreman, I don't really know, because like you said, there's nothing about it that's standing on it. So I don't even think that's going to make it that far, because there's no standing on it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the Tiffany Haddish and stuff, when you start searching more and more and more, it start getting more pedophilia. It doesn't look like it's just weird. Coming after them. It's starting to really look like it's weird. The mama should be charged, just like they finna be charged. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right. You're gonna go all around. But when it comes to our history, I do feel like we take that upon, and we can't say what they do doesn't reflect our history. These are, you know what I'm saying? So everybody Black's different. So what they're doing, it ain't gonna reflect. I'm not gonna tell my kids to go not look at Black history. No, what they're doing is just pedophilia. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? They get money. That money is coming into play. You know what I'm saying? It's that money. And the mama got 15 stacks, but the kids got $100 a piece.
Yeah. That part. So the mom, it's like the mama's what's that word? Damn, what's that word, y'all?
She extorted her kids. You feel like she extorted her kids?
Yeah.
Kids being pimped, just like you with the Michael
Pimp. There you go. Yeah.
Being pimped, because you're right. When I started looking more at the Tiffany Haddish, I'm like, first of all, I didn't think it was funny at all. I was like, wasn't that supposed to be comedy? It wasn't funny. When she lifted the kid up and she walking down the stairs with just the underwear on, I'm like, Tiffany. She said, I have questions like you do. You couldn't have had questions. You didn't think that was weird?
Well, because she should have read the title of the skit was what? Through a pedophile eye. Right. So that is something that should have been taken serious. I would have been reading that script, and I would have went to the producers like, you know what? So I think it came to money. At this point in time, it's money. Everybody money hungry.
Everybody money hungry.
Yep. And we didn't hear about Aaron Spears until he said something about Lizzo being big. You know what I'm saying? As soon as that came out, everybody flushed him. It's like the whole everybody just got on there and started posting stuff for this man. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen him on a couple comedies. I mean, he's so funny, but he fell off. I wasn't. So when he popped back up, and they put their own self in them predicaments by popping back up, and then you come and ask somebody else, and God don't like ugly, so he sent somebody for you. Yeah. So,
I keep telling y'all, since COVID came, everything coming out. COVID bringing everything out.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, she weird. I would never look at her the same. That was my girl.
Me too.
I liked her on Trip Girl.
But see, I like Cat Williams, like what you said, Ms.Londa. Cat Williams said, he said there's too many good comedians. She jumped in and gained too much too fast.
Too fast. That's why I'm saying, how did she become so famous all of a sudden? She did with Girls Trip.
Yeah. She sold her soul like the rest of them do.
Yeah. They thought Remember when he was
But
on the radio
this
show? He
is
was
my
calling
thing.
me
This is why I'm on the fence with it.
Go one. Somebody talking. What happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thought I was over talking somebody.
Oh no, I was just. This is why I'm on the fence with it. It's for a couple reasons. Because I didn't want to just accept like Tiffany Haddish could just do this. I don't know much about Aries Spears. I didn't even know about him until this even arose. Is because I felt like, okay, yeah, this was a comedy skit, but it was a voice of a comedy skit. But there's so many things that has arose that brings things into question. But also the one thing that still stands out in my mind, usually when these things come about, there's other victims. Like a pedophile is not going to just stop with just one or two children. There has to be more, and nothing has came about. And that's when.
But not only that.
Now the only. But wait. So the only other thing that has came out about Aries is that he did a video skit with a man and making out a man. Okay, that's his preference if that's what he wants to do. But nothing else about him being a pedophile has came out. If people are dig, they're gonna dig. So they could have found that by now. This is my personal opinion. So I just kind of, in my mind, I kind of feel like it was a bad choice of a skit, poor taste, maybe to get on. I don't know. But I just feel like if they were really into that type of thing, some other things would have been arisen by now.
I'm just saying, why it always got to be our kids to play these type of roles? Why is it always African American kids? Yeah, you're right, because of the parent. Because the parent had to sign the contract. Well, something wrong with the parent for allowing her child to experience that.
But look how they stored him on TikTok.
See, this is what I found out about the mom, though, during my research.
Look at when you got your little kid, when you got your kid on TikTok or doing so, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But when they put the little outfits on, you got to understand there's still people watching. And there's always a pedophile watching. And they're always watching your background. They're watching where you're walking. Some log on, catch on to that. And then you wondering why they getting stalked when they get 16. They've been on TV. They've been on podcasts since they've been 3.
Since they've been 3, popping and shaking and licking their tongue out. And I don't like that. So yeah, it's the parents' fault, because why is you raising your child up on internet anyway? You couldn't pay my daughter to be on here talking about pop locking, jobbers sticking their tongue out and all this crazy stuff they doing.
Yeah, we have to think too, right? With celebrities, before they even get to you, they saying, okay, they had sex with these people. Before they even get to the celebrity, they probably done had sex with their security, their dancers, the people in the band, and everyone else. I've been to concerts where you could see the groupies, right? These are people in their fan clubs. They follow these people, and they're always in the front row, and they're quoting these celebrities. Like the one girl was saying she went to R. Kelly concert. I'm like, well, she said she was 16. I'm saying, well, you got to be 18 to go to these shows, some of them, right? And so the one that, not all, but the one that she was a Jane Doe. She had to be 18, and her parents said that they bought the ticket. They came and said it. So I'm saying, well, wait a minute. And they said she was under doctor's care for a psychologist. And I'm saying, well, if she was under doctor's care, you shouldn't have been, like, that should have been the farthest thing. But even the lady in the Bill Cosby case, she said that in 1974 at the Playboy Mansion. What about Hugh Hefner and his brother?
They came after them. They're after Hugh now. See, this is the thing. They're coming after, now they're coming after certain people when they did. Now, when it comes to Hugh Hefner, I'm going to be honest. I vibe with him. I don't think he's that dumb enough to let them come in that house without signing a contract.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest. If you knew everything, when you step in something like with R. Kelly house, like that lady said when she went to Atlanta, she seen the stuff. You were grown enough. You said the door was open for you to be able to walk in and out. So you seen what happened and you still stayed.
Right. And now they're saying that she done did videos. That's why I say social media is a blessing and a curse, Because if you said you went to his house in Atlanta, but then you going on these other platforms and they pulling up your past record and you got a record of scamming people. It's like, come on now, sis. We ride with you. We want to say, you know what, you could be a victim. You know, because we know
they're like I just think there's some that are guilty, there's some that ain't, you know. I mean, it's just, you know, what it is. Now with the whole, you know, with the Tiffany Haddish, I like you said, it's just something we gotta look deeper into and see what the outcome is gonna happen. But I do feel like this. The parent did get that script. I feel like that parent read that script. They seen what their kid was finna have to do in that script. You know, the only problem I have is they said the little boy came out and his butt was red, you know, and stuff like that. Now that's the question I want to know. Why was his butt red? Nothing should be
Right.
on
Was
his
that
body
in the
red
script?
or bruised.
You know, these African
So, and
American
that's why,
females,
again, that's why I said,
it's sad.
earlier, when it comes to these cases, you got to look at all parties, and everybody is skipping over the mom. Like I said earlier, if your kid is somewhere and your kid is crying and wanting to come home and telling you they're not comfortable where they're at, as a parent in their right mind, you're going to want to know why your kid was so upset, number one. Number two, it also came out that the child was given something to drink that made him sleepy and a piece of candy with a happy face on it. It also was said, allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly to everything, Tiffany snapped on the boy and was telling him on the way home, if you're never going to make it on TV if this is how you're going to be acting. And it was allegedly said by the Jane Doe, which is the sister, that she gave each sibling $100. Now, I also did more research and found out that there was a legally non-binding, not legally, non-binding transfer between mom of $15. So, and this is one thing you guys have to keep in mind, because I also found out she also was trying to be in the industry. She's supposed to be a comedian. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. And again, I keep saying, through research, I found out that there has been other situations with them and other kids. And when we all know, when these things happen, if a person is in that field of pedophilia, there are to be other, they wouldn't have just stopped with those kids. And all the digging that people are pulling up, none of that, no more other cases concerning kids have popped up.
But
so
when
that's
they
my
were
thing.
doing,
So was the man? I'm sorry. Was the man in the skit a pedophile? See, that's the problem, y'all. Nobody can answer that one. See,
we don't know.
See,
talking about
and see,
Aaron?
the mama should have did
We
her
can't, because
homework.
nothing else has a role. That's what I'm trying to say.
But my question is, why, when they was recording this and filming this, okay, the mother, see, what I would have done is, when I got that script, I would have looked at the script, I would have took it to an attorney so they can look at the script too. And I don't understand, because I heard that, what is a non-binding agreement? There's no such thing unless they give them cash.
That means a non-binding agreement means that this was not something that was court ordered. This was something that was done between the two of them on a personal level, period.
Then it's still binding.
And you have to ask why.
Right. Then if you give
them, there was no document signed saying I'm giving you this $15,000. So that raises the question of, why did he give her $15,000 allegedly?
Because that baby called his mama crying and told him what they did to him, and I guarantee she put a price tag on it.
$15,000.
Oh, the mama? You talking about the mom put
that baby called her crying and said he wanted to come home. You know what I'm saying? He probably went home and told them what they did, and the mama putting a price tag. I'm trying to figure out how do your kids have a price tag on them?
Ain't no price tag, not for something like that.
I remember when I was a kid, right? Everybody wanted to go to Neverland with Michael Jackson. My parents never let me spend the night. I don't let my daughter spend the night. If she did a script like that, she's 14. If she did a script like that, first of all, I would be reading that thing tooth and nail. But if that was the case, when they were filming, you should have been in there while they were filming.
But see, this the thing though, Michael Jackson, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have went to his house because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he did. And the reason why I feel like he didn't do it because the way his life was raised, the way he was raised, you know, he wasn't. I don't think he did it. I think he just wanted to go on roller coasters, play with animals and everything else, and be a kid. Because look who his daddy was.
Yeah. Oh, I believe
Right.
he didn't do it. No, I agree with you. I don't think he did it. But these celebrities have entourages.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Think about it. When they said these kids were sleeping in Michael Jackson's bedroom, Michael Jackson's bedroom was 10,000 square feet, 4 floors. It's not like our bedroom was 10 by 7. Like them kids.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where they slept with him at because he slept in one of those chambers, didn't he, y'all? Like one of those,
no, they said that
one
was
of those
just a
air
rumor.
chambers. He said.
Yeah. He said that was just a rumor, and I believe that. I don't think Michael Jackson did it, but I guess the point
I don't think he did that either. He just probably wanted to show them kids, you know, what he didn't have, and they turned it around and made something else out of it because he's an African American.
right. But I still wouldn't let my kids spend the night. Like I just
But
don't.
No, ain't no kids spending the night.
That skit.
Yeah,
Now we ain't doing that. I don't care how many monkeys you got running around. We ain't spending the night.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Even with this Tiffany Haddish thing, like you should have been in there. You know, you should have been in there while this film was going on. But it shouldn't even have gotten to that point because that should have been written in the script.
Right.
This is before Tiffany Haddish did anything that she was supposed to, right? Like this is way before she did Girls Trip and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this came out. What do you guys think about this? Remember when that whole slap thing came out with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Catching her coming out. And remember, she said basically, like, I'm rolling with my friends. She didn't say it like that. I'm paraphrasing. But I wonder if that had anything to do with it because it seemed like it was like split. Because I thought initially it was a joke. But then when you had all these Caucasian comedians and people saying, nope, he needs to sue. And now people looking at Will, Jada, and other people that Tiffany, right, is friends with. It just seems like, you know, I've seen where next thing you know, you get caught up in that mess and the industry started coming after you.
I would have sued Will though too. Shit, I don't care. I would have sued him. Don't come up on stage and smack me because your girlfriend got an issue with the world because she done slept with all the celebrities and everybody got jokes.
Who you talking about, Jada?
Hell yeah, you know, Jada been passed around more than anybody.
Oh yeah, Jada been passed around since I was little. Yeah, she don't care about Will.
Yeah, I didn't want to get off this subject, but I was just wondering since she came out and said that now this whole thing is coming out. It's just weird to me.
It's just weird.
They're blackballing her like they did Monique. Remember when they blackballed Monique they blackballed her from Netflix. They blackballed her from being on any comedy show. They was trying to tell her to apologize, and she wasn't for a while. She was like, I ain't finna do that.
Remember, she was on Steve Harvey's show. Next thing you know, he was on that
yeah. That's why he was on, because I'm like, what happened to the Steve Harvey show?
She was on there, and he was like, Monique, sometime we gotta play the game. And she was like, nah, Steve, I ain't playing the game. Next thing you know, he was canceled, and Kelly Clarkson took his place. And that's why I was wondering if this whole Tiffany Haddish thing is similar to the whole Jada and Will.
Yeah, this all in like cahoots.
The whole
It's crazy.
Thing, it started from Ari though, making the comments that he made about Lizzo, and then her people dug up and found.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they did. They was like, oh, you talking about Lizzo and she out here doing some things? Oh no, we're gonna dig up everything. And probably Tiffany Haddish, she just happened to be caught in the crossfire. I mean, it's just
I'm confused, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand, like, I'm telling you, where's all this stuff coming from? All these celebrities, like you said, Dr. Smith, all these celebrities and these kids and
okay, we hearing Weinstein just his appeal got granted, but what about the Caucasian? What about
that? I want to thank you.
Remember Moves blackballed?
When the whole thing about Weinstein came out, when the whole thing with Weinstein, guess what they did to sidetrack it? That's when the whole R. Kelly thing came about.
Well,
I was finished, yeah, because
And everybody forgot about that and was focused on R. Kelly.
Yeah, but guess what? Remember when the Weinstein thing came out, the same prosecutor charged that she wanted to let Jussie Smollett go. It was the same one, Kim Fox. It's almost like they did a swap. We're gonna get R. Kelly, we're gonna let Jussie Smollett go.
Well, he should have been kept with his lying self.
who her lawyer? Damn it. Who they were saying is her lawyer? They say, damn,
the same lawyer that defended the Weinstein guy.
Yeah, Weinstein, yeah. It's just crazy. It's just like
lawyers. That's what I
feel it coming out with all this stuff and this stuff. They trying to corrupt this world, these kids, Jesus. I don't know. It's getting bad out here. We just gotta keep our kids informed and stay up on our kids and because
right. And you know, the thing I kind of have a problem with is you're right. We got to inform our kids. But now in our school, our governor just signed a bill that is mandatory to teach LGBTQ. So you can teach.
Yeah. Oh, not Dr. Spencer. Let me tell you that one. My son, I got all. I'm sorry, y'all. My son's school called me, right, and said, how do y'all feel about that? So they had all the parents in the meeting, and all the parents said, don't teach that to my kids. They asked me why not. I said, look, my kids don't need to know about this gay stuff. That's what they got me for. I teach my own kids the way I want to teach them, not the way y'all teach them. And then when they talk about these kids got to go in the bathroom together, the same sex, and all this crazy stuff. Do y'all know what's going on in the world? Because it's I don't know.
But you know, that's so messed up too. You're absolutely right? I said, I can't wait until they come to me because you want them to teach LGBTQ, right? And I probably missed the letters up. You want them to teach that, but then you say that they can get a sex change, but they can't get sex and they can't buy cigarettes. So, well, which one is it? Can they consent? Can they not? Because then if that's the case, then guess what? These celebrities that's sleeping with these kids, that what you're saying is they should be able to consent and they shouldn't. But I can't say Merry Christmas to people. I can't say under God, but we could say the LGBT. Like, well, which one is it? And everybody doesn't want to, everybody, you want to educate on LGBTQ, but you don't want to teach accurate Black history. Well, which one is it?
That's what I say. They want to teach our kids this. I don't knock nobody that's gay, bisexual, transgender, whatever you are. I'm not judging you, but you ain't gonna bring that to my sons. Period. I got boys. My daughter graduated, so you know how that made me feel. Wondering people going in the bathroom with my kids, like it's just weird. So I love my kids' school because they not going to do that in the school with them. Even though they talking about that's what the governor, I told them, as soon as y'all teach that, mine's coming out. I can teach my own kids at home. And if I don't understand it, that's why they got Google. Google, what did this mean? Google, help me out. I ain't lying. Between Google and Siri, we're going to get smart together.
Right.
I refuse for my kids. No,
you're right. But it's so, like, even for at work, right? So even for adults, when in the workplace, when somebody transitions, they send an email around to everybody to let them know that this person has officially transitioned. So we needed to know, what does that mean? That means they have changed their birth certificate, right? But now...
so wait a minute. You can change your birth certificate?
Yes, you get a whole new birth certificate. And guess what? I didn't know this either. I just learned this. Once you get a new identity, it erases your credit and your work history because now you are considered a new person.
They stopped that. They stopped
that. They stopped that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a man now.
Who a man?
Lord. You can change your, and so even in Wisconsin, the governor stopped it. Like he told that transgender man, He said you can change to be a woman, but you can't change your sex on your birth certificate. You can't, because he's a pedophile, and he was trying to transgender to a woman. And he felt because he's transgender that his background should drop.
No, that's it. You even worse.
When did that happen? Because my coworker was able to do it. He got a whole new identity, birth certificate, and the social security number didn't change, but the name changed.
Yeah, but his credit didn't change just because he went to somewhere else. His credit, if his credit was 600, it stayed 600 even when they changed to a woman.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said nope, it changed, and I looked it up. I was like,
because the only way they can change is the thing of it is the government gives them money to live off of when they do that. See, that's the thing. I said, this is what I said. I said cancer people can't get breasts when they get their breasts removed. They got to pay for to get breast implants. But if you want to become a woman, they'll pay for your implants.
Pay for that.
Or if you want to become a man, they'll cut off your chest.
Yeah, because they trying to stop people, all these guys making these babies out here. That's what they say. They trying to stop these babies, whatever. So everybody coming out the closet now, everybody switching over. And then they talking about some law, if it passes, the pedophiles and them, they can't even go to jail no more. Whatever this stupid law is, like if the pedophiles, they're giving them the reason to keep messing with people's kids. It's going crazy. I don't know if y'all heard about that one. Do y'all know what I'm saying?
It's like a mental illness.
Right.
So it's just gonna keep. They just gonna keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Yeah, we already said.
That's why we gotta.
And so I wanted.
George, he look crazy. Shit, they should have been figured George out a long time ago. How they just figuring him out? He look weird as ever.
But look, every time you turn around,
but we can't judge a person off their looks. We cannot judge a person off their looks.
And on top of that, that man made the bombest grills there ever was, man. Because I just steak not too long ago.
Hey, he sure do, girl. Because them things be cooking the mess out of my chicken breast. You ain't never lied.
Neither. That's why I'm trying to get me a fat man, so my fat man can go in there at 2 in the morning and cook me a steak on my grill.
Hey, so okay, with him, what made these kids? What made these kids speak up about George Foreman? How did George Foreman get into the picture with everybody else? That's what I'm saying. How did he pop out? Who exposed to him?
Okay. So I'm gonna give you what I did my research, because I never like to come on camera and talk about nothing if I haven't went and did research. What I found out is that these two women, George Foreman was friends. He worked with their dads. So they became friends. Now he has not seen or talked to these co-workers in over decades. But now here it is, the daughters of these so-called co-workers, friends, however you want to put it, then came out and said that he did this to them allegedly when he was in his 20s, which means they were younger. They were children.
Why did they wait not to bring it out?
Like again, exactly. So it's like I know, we have to be for our kids. We have to defend our kids, and I know rape and sexual molestation and all of it does happen, but we can't just jump on the bandwagon every time a story comes out and say they're guilty. And I'm not gonna judge George Foreman off of how he looks. I'm just not gonna do it until something.
No, I'm not judging him off how he look. But George Foreman always been there.
But what I'm saying is,
okay.
But what I'm saying is, like, until something else surfaces, some more evidence, something.
You know that like, by all this coming out, they make real victims don't get justice. You know
that
what I'm saying?
That part.
So it makes victims that's why we don't get the justice that we need. That's why we don't get the help that we need, because of the lies that are being told. Women make lies on men, because I know a boy, I'm not gonna say no name, but I know a boy that he was starting off, he was getting ready to sign a deal. You know what I'm saying? And then her kid came in the room and she lifted up the cover, so he smacked her hand, and he didn't feel appropriate with it. So he told her he won't come back no more unless her kid wasn't there. She turned around and called the police and said he raped her. and then stopped him from getting his record deal when it never happened. So,
Yeah.
So I can just call and say, hell, I met the Fat Boys and I met 357 before when I was 14. Now here I come. Well, do you know 357, whatever their name is, she touched me when I seen her at Woo Out the Why. They gonna believe me? Because I say she touched me?
Yep.
Yeah, because guess what? In all these cases, I haven't seen a police report. I haven't seen one. I've been following them. No police report. I haven't even seen witnesses that say they did.
Well,
Like,
this is the thing, though. I do know victims get scared because I've been a victim.
yes.
So I do know. So I'm not going to knock a victim, especially when you a kid. But it's up to the parent. You know what I'm saying? I've been a child of abuse. You know what I'm saying? Sexually abused as a kid, and it was up to my parents to press the charges. It was up to my parent to stand up for me. You know, and because I can't do it by myself, I'm a minor. You know, so it's up to them. You know what I'm saying? The parents got paid. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was just gonna
parents are
say
getting
that.
paid, and then that like paying her under the cover. She did that because I mean, literally, they weren't even supposed to be in that room with them. That's a stupid skit. I don't understand the name of it. The name would have threw me off. Period.
Yeah, it looked like it was trying to mock like Bill Cosby because she had the
paper.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
How many times we gonna beat that horse? Like, because even with the lady with Bill Cosby, she said it happened in 74. Then she went to court. She said it was 76, and so she got money. She got like 500,000, but Gloria Allred took 40%, and then now she's known as someone who's not credible because she kept changing her story. And you're right. It's like there's victims out there.
No, the real victims. Their story ain't never gonna change. They're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember that day. They're gonna remember the time. They're gonna remember the year. It's never gonna change. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel
it's
Go
never
ahead, I'm
gonna
sorry.
change. It's always gonna stay the same.
Right.
And then on top of that, real pedophiles, like Ms.Londa said, real pedophiles. It didn't just start with them two kids. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a pedophile, it's gonna be it's down the line. There was signs, there was people that was aware of it. So there's more. If just two kids. R. Kelly done had
God, Kelly had the whole Chicago.
And some now I ain't gonna say none here. And
yeah, I know.
Because I'm gonna take up for him the 1 million. I'm gonna take up for him. So because the thing of it is I really feel like when I watched that show, I got mad because I'm like, damn, where was you coming now at their 18? They're 18. What happened was that check stopped. You realize you ain't got no money to live off no more. He's able to cut you straight the hell off. That contract was only till it was 18. Right. That's what them things is. So more likely that contract was binding with Tiffany Haddish, even though it was on binding, once he gave her some money, it made it binding. You know what I'm saying? So once he did that, so what them kids weren't a part of that binding. So they able to speak now that they're over 18. Right. The contract's done.
You're right. But here, even with that whole R. Kelly thing, right? Your kid been gone for 5 years. Are you gonna call Lifetime? Or you gonna get some of your boys, your family, or whomever, day 2 or 3?
Well, baby, even if he said hi to my kid, I was gonna punch him in the first place. You ain't finna pee on none of mine.
But you go get your kid is missing.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. My mom was a pistol packing woman, and if I was somewhere and she felt like I shouldn't be there, somebody was keeping me and she's coming with pistols. She's making moms bring phones in the living room, all types of shit. And I didn't see her do it. I know. So that's some bullshit when it comes to these parents. That's why I say we gotta look at all the parties in this situation.
Right. The daddy came on YouTube and Instagram and said, he said she came home and we took her back. That's what she said. They said, and the girl was up there, did a video on YouTube. She said, I was having too much fun in the presidential suite. I wasn't coming home. Who you need to be looking at is my daddy. That's what she said. Think about when Lifetime gets a hold of, Lifetime does a story. That was a $3 million project. That took a couple years.
Yeah.
Your kid missing and you gonna call Lifetime? That's reality. Remember, what's his name? Master P said it. He said, if somebody got my kid, I'm killing. Like, why would you call Lifetime? Where is the cops? Where is any of that? And then the lawyer came on and said, we didn't have anything, so we had to change the public perception. That's what he said. I'm not going, my daughter missing, if my daughter gone 24 hours, I'm gonna be like, where's my daughter? I'm not gonna call Lifetime. Like, how the hell you call Lifetime?
Because it started off with the lady, that one lady, she was one lady. You know what I'm saying? Then she kept going on. And then it just seemed like a lot of people, it just seemed like a lot of women that went to the hotel room with him too. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they on TV talking about he touched them. Then they was his girlfriends talking about. I'm still trying to figure out how they survived him. But y'all could have left.
They could, and you know what? Come to find out, her husband came on and her daughter and said, we knew what she was. She was sending money home. And the girl, come to find out, she was like 30, 40 years old. I mean, I don't understand. Like, you're at a celebrity's house and you mean to tell me, think about how much music he does. Are you serious? It didn't even make sense. And now they all come and telling each other.
But his wife is still dancing to his music right now. But she was on that show downgrading him, talking about she didn't know what he was doing. And I think that's bullshit. I think she knew exactly what was going on. Ain't no way in hell that you was married to that man, had all them kids by that man, and you didn't see his nasty ass lifestyle. He done peed on her, tied her up in some more stuff too.
Wait, y'all, who y'all talking about now? Wait a minute, who you talking about?
That's R. Kelly. Well,
R. Kelly.
That just came out in the in Chicago now. That just came out last week that she was in those tapes and she was having sex with him too. But they gave her immunity. That just came out because he got the same lawyer that Bill Cosby had. So they said she was involved.
See, this is what I'm saying. I be feeling like people be overlooking the parents. The parents be wanting their kids to be famous so they can eat so bad that they will extort their kids. That's what I feel in my heart.
Yes, and you know what them girls said? The girls said that they thought their parents was getting $5,000 a month, and they all had one thing in common. They all wanted a record deal.
Well, look at Britney Spears, though. Look at her parents. They put her on Prozac, got her high on drugs, and made sure she couldn't read nothing.
Yeah, sure did. And now the ex-husband coming after her. Telling she a bad parent.
I ain't gonna lie, though. I like how he smooth in there. He was a backup dancer.
But you know who else
smoothed up in there? Yeah. Ms.Londa, he smoothed up in there, took them kids. He made some kids and came out with a paycheck.
Yeah. And so did what's his name? The dancer that's going with Mariah Carey now. He's her backup dancer.
Oh, I like him with her though. I like him with her.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because she's not bougie when she's with him. He makes her humble.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't know that.
He humbles her. See, there's a difference. He humbles her. There's a big difference. He ain't trying to have kids with her. He not spending her money. You know what I'm saying? He humbles her. He humbles her to where she could be herself. Because if you look at her, if we look at Mariah Carey was a victim. Mariah Carey had to marry her manager at a young age. That's how she became who she was, and he was abusing her.
Yeah. So then Aaliyah marry R. Kelly young?
Yeah, she married R. Kelly, and then but the parents knew. They tried to say they didn't know, but they knew.
Now that came up in court too because
when they found out, they didn't do a whole lot either. They just had the marriage annulled and then they brushed it under the carpet. Right. And this is why these things keep rising.
Right, but it came out in that case because that was in the New York case because people was trying to say it was double jeopardy, but it wasn't because it went from a state case to a federal case.
Right.
They actually brought up their lead. She was Jane. It was 20 Jane. It was 18 Jane Does and 2 John Does, and she was Jane Doe 1. And the said that it was a publicity stunt, which was stupid, that it was a publicity stunt and that it was fake. That's what he testified to in that New York case. He never
Damon Dash took her, and regardless of how I feel about Damon Dash, sometimes he took that girl away from that pain. He surely did. He wouldn't let that man, DMX, none of them. If you look at it, they all said they would never let that man come around her when she got older. She didn't want to be around him. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to have nothing to do with him.
Aaliyah didn't want to be around R. Kelly?
Nope, she didn't.
Nope.
But
yeah, I heard that too.
Right, but think about something right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I remember being in the tunnel.
Well, where's the men at? Because they said R. Kelly was having sex with men. I ain't seen no men come out saying they survived R.
No,
Kelly.
they said in the thing that was a lie. They said that the government said that they really like forced them to lie and testify. And they were saying that, you know, this whole case, even with the Chicago case, surprised if they wouldn't drop it because everybody coming saying that the government offered them something. Like one girl, the one that was in the 14-year-old in the video, she said they told her flat out, "I'm going to take your kid," and they gave her money and Section 8. I didn't even know the government could give you no daggone Section 8 to testify, and that's what they said in the Chicago case. It's actually going on now. If you go.
Wait a minute. The girl gotta go. Wait, the girl that's testifying against R. Kelly, she got Section 8.
They gave it, yes. It's in the because I never knew how the government.
The government gave you Section 8. Damn, that's new.
This is the thing. I'm so tired of everybody attaching shit to the government. That girl literally got peed. Ain't that the one that got pissed on?
She just testified. That's the Chicago case.
That's the one that got peed on. That's Sparkles. We ain't gonna say that's Sparkles. That's Sparkles' niece. Baby, Sparkles' niece.
That's Sparkle's niece because that's Sparkle's sister's
So
daughter.
that ain't got nothing to do
Sparkle, the sting of Sparkle.
Sparkle sitting there letting her get peed on.
Yeah,
it got to do with the security sitting in there letting her get peed on. It got to do. The government didn't have nothing to do with Sparkle bringing that little girl up in there letting she get peed on. Sparkle knew about it before it even hit the TV.
Okay,
girl, Sparkle was my friend. Now I can't even like Sparkle no more. She crazy too.
No. Well, okay, so it's in the case now because it's actually going on. So y'all can go read it, right? Sparkle just did this whole thing saying last week that her niece is lying, right? But she did. Sparkle did bring up, but the father was his guitarist. Like the family was with them. Like the family was in like his band and all this, that, and the other. So I was like, no, Sparkle said she lied. That's what she said. Because
we keep saying white people, but let me make this clear. Everybody that target R. Kelly is black. It was a black woman that started the surviving R. Kelly thing. It was the black women that was trying to shut him down from Atlanta. I was there. So therefore, it was never the government. It was never the white people. It's black people against black people. And that's what it is. It ain't never got to do. The government didn't tell that girl to get on the stand. The government.
Hold on, Sean.
I don't think that's what she was saying. She was saying like basically she was pressing things to get on the stand and testify.
Right.
I think that's what she was saying.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? But she was already on Section 8. I read the whole. She was already on Section 8. She was already, you know, what it is she coming out because no one stuck up for her. When she was she could not go on to her parents wouldn't let her go into the courtroom when he was getting charged at one point in time. She couldn't talk. So now she's old enough, you know what I'm saying? But I feel her though, she want to dip in the pie too. She's like, wait a minute, I really was peed on. That tape was embarrassing. That tape was embarrassing.
Right, but that's not what they're saying now. And the reason why is because they're reading the transcripts online and you can see it line by line. That's not what they're saying. What happened was you have these people who really have perjured themselves, right? Because they were saying that they had the VCR tape, right? Well, how long has VCR been going? So what happened was Michael Avenatti, remember he was defending Stormy Daniels, who sued the president, was trying to sue the president. Remember that? Okay. He met Kim Fox at the airport in Chicago, and they were talking about that. So that's where the lawyers coming out saying, wait a minute, you had the tape. You went on CNN and you talked about the tape. You are an attorney. So if the people at CNN in these stations looked at it and you're saying the girl was 14, that's child porn. He had already been charged with that and went to court in 2008. So that means if he went to court in 2008 with the VCR tape, then that would have been in the discovery. They still would have the tape. That means Michael Avenatti had a copy of it just like everybody else now does. So he's being charged with that again. It's not double jeopardy because Homeland Security picked it up and it became a Fed case. So now you have these older women like, wait a minute, I'm afraid. I had to testify. Matter of fact, one of the ladies that was in one of the videos, right? She didn't want to come back. They went and picked her up and said they was going to arrest her. So these victims are coming back saying, wait a minute, they went all the way back to 1999. And some of these people saying, I wasn't a victim. They said, no, we were having a good time. Even with the girl that was 14 in that thing, come to find out, she actually, that wasn't always true. She said that was a lie. So I don't even, again, it's on you can look at the transcripts. It's neither here nor there, but that's what they're saying.
Did you read the comments yet, Londa? Did you see what Miss Belinda said about somebody?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1
She said somebody helping Tiffany do something.
I think Tiffany sold her soul to the Illuminati.
Jason Lee.
I think so too.
Yeah. Who you say?
To the Illuminati. It's crazy because when you start getting popular, maybe that's what started happening.
That's why I'm glad where I'm at. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be rich. I don't even want to be known.
Yeah.
Leave me with the low minority. How they say we the low minority. We the
let me write a
For some reason I can't get comments anymore.
I can't see. I can't see you other ladies.
I know what happened to the video because I don't see nobody but Miss Londa.
Me too.
Oh,
and that
wow!
In the background.
Yeah, because something happened. Probably when you was trying to read them checks. Okay, there we go. Well, I need to get out there and to take R. Kelly to slap me shit. I don't know.
I still love his music. He's still he went through a lot in history, and a lot of people don't realize too. A pedophile becomes a pedophile because sometimes they didn't get help with what they went through too in their young past too.
You're right. That's what came out. They said his sister molested them when they were kids, and some guy down and said that when it was time to go to court, the man been charged. He gave the mother $5,000 and they dropped it.
See what I'm saying? Everything is about money.
Yeah, and we're not, and if you look at it in our history, Black history, we were told what goes on in your home stays in your home.
Stays in your home.
I just did a video on that saying right there scarred a lot of people, and you don't want to say anything because you're scared of disgracing your family. But sometimes it's the pastors, the bishops, and all that's molesting these kids, and the coaches and all of that.
They said Tiffany trying to use the lawyer that somebody.
I keep telling people, stop making these kids think that it's just a white van with no windows now. Sex trafficking and taking these kids and doing all these things with these kids. It's your daughter, your kids, friends, family members, your family members. Everybody is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I keep mine in the house. I keep my boys like that. They be like, why you don't never let them? They ain't going over nobody's house. They ain't even finna play with you.
The thing of it is, we teach our kids, and that's the thing. We looking for that. Our kids out here looking for a white man in a white van with tinted windows, door. You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that their uncle right next to him is already.
Well, you need to be telling them, and also it's the teachers, it's the foster parents, it's aunties, it's brothers, it's uncles. That you also need to be telling them that too.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just people in a van with no windows, with tinted windows and all that. Everybody doing this.
Yeah. I remember I went to Target with my daughter. She was little, right? And this little kid was like, "You want some candy?" I was like, "No, thank you, baby." Because sometimes grown people will use kids to snatch kids too. And I remember we in Sears. She playing under them, you know, where the clothes are, them with the clothes things and them rounders. I was hysterical in that store. Get from under them rounders and them clothes things, because you going in there next, you know, on the other side, it could be somebody to snatch you. And you know, when you go to them stores, it's 4 or 5 entrances in there. I was like, not at all. But you know what I think they messed up at? Remember when they used to have them little things, you attach it to your hand and the kid's hand. People say they look like leashes, like dogs.
Yeah, they should have kept them.
Yeah, we should have kept them, because these kids is getting snatched. And you say, well, I just turned around for a second, but somebody right there looking, and you thinking, oh, they looking at something else.
Yeah.
Nope, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
No.
I'm telling y'all, I don't even take my kids in the store, y'all. Y'all might think I'm crazy.
Have a baby,
I don't take my kids nowhere. I be too scared.
Right now, have a baby tied around me like the Chinese people had their babies tied on their back and on their stomach. That's how I would be if I had to go out in public.
Nah, don't put it on your back. Put it on your stomach. Shit.
I mean, the way shit is going, like you can be in the store, like a kid just literally, the mom turned around for a hot second and the baby was snatched out the buggy. That means somebody was already watching and lurking and waiting. Y'all get what I'm saying?
I be seeing cars follow me, and I get my husband attention all the time.
Sex trafficking today is just like fucking boosters. It's the new thing. It's the new hottest thing on the block. They selling kids just like they were stealing clothes and them. That's the hottest thing.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And you know what? I remember as a kid, right? I couldn't even sit on nobody's lap. You know how you like sit on my uncles, cuz no, you could not sit on nobody's
lap. I teach my daughter that you don't sit on nobody's lap. Nah, these little kids be jumping all between your legs and shit. I tell
we from the old school, we had them parents that taught us that. So then we taught our kids that. These other parents now, it's like all they boyfriends is daddy automatically when they come in the door. It's
oh my God, I hate that.
I never allowed my
daddy
kids
or uncle
to sit on my brother's lap. And it was like, because I felt like if I allow you to sit in your uncle's lap, then you'll feel like it's okay to sit in the next man's lap. No, these men be getting hard and all that type of shit. Hell no.
Like I tell my son, do not sit my grandbaby on your lap. He be looking at me like, why, mama? It's just something that I just don't like. Never have a little girl sitting on your lap, ever. You as a man. I'm going to have to explain it to him as a, So he be looking at me like, kids, little girls be trying to run in there and play with my son. He 15 years old. Girl, get your damn baby. Because we ain't going to have no stories over here. Get your daughter.
Yeah. I don't like little girls being able to feel like they can run up and men's. No, you don't. Where you supposed to be? Take your ass home somewhere. Like you have nothing to discuss with a grown man, and he
with a grown man, right? Period. Like my daughter with her boyfriend daughter. Oh, she going there with Robin. I know the fuck she can't. She's a little girl. Why is she going in there with a room full of boys? Y'all need to get y'all minds right. I don't want that little girl around my sons. Cause I just don't want them around. Ain't nobody gonna get no allegations on mine.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
and it goes both ways. You have to teach your boys that they could possibly face allegations, but you have to also teach your girls that these things can happen.
But it happens to the boys too, though, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't play no games with my kids.
True. Yeah, and you know, people used to be like, "Oh, let Uncle give you $1 and all that."
And then,
no.
And then y'all know what else too? I'm coming off of social media with my kids, because That's a market right there. They already on social media lurking at all these people kids, so they know what they look like from the time they was born to now. So as we like throwing our kids out there on the social media. I'm coming the fuck off of it with mine. I don't have mine on there.
Let me tell you what happened to my friend, right? She lived in South Carolina. So they took her oldest daughter, who's 21, she's 22, her head, put it on the body of a child, and they put a video like they were having sex and sent it to her baby. She don't even know how it happened.
Somebody did me like that. They say, Nita, you on this video. I said, what video? Yeah. They said, girl, we know it's not you, but this video got you doing some strange things. I said, well, y'all know it ain't me. And I could never find the video because they used to tell me, go get the video. And then when I try to get the video, I can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what they did. I couldn't even believe. I'm like, are you serious?
Well, they said they had one of me, and I was trying to figure out where it's at. So I wanted to make sure I was doing my best work. Because I wanted to make... I don't have no video of me. I was trying to make sure I was going to do like a meme.
I want to know what I had on.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to know. Look. I was going to do like a meme. I was going to...
Did I have on some thongs or anything? Shit, what I have on? Did I have on a two-piece? What?
Wait, I was not expecting that down. Oh, God.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what we have on. Was my hair short, long, cut? What was it? What did I look like? Did I have a big booty, big breast?
I have one. I keep telling Ms.Londa that.
Right.
I can't.
Oh man.
That was funny.
Yeah, but it's real out here. We just go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to for this discussion. That's okay. I want to thank you guys for this discussion. It was a great discussion. I enjoy all your opinions and everything, and all of you guys who jumped in the comments and shared your thoughts and opinions. I appreciate that. And you guys have a good night. Until next time.
See y'all.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Nice meeting you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.